third down, however, and we mentioned Jahan Dotson in the Big 33 game. I believe right after that he was up at Penn State, and he's kind of already set up there. A couple of offensive players are now on campus getting ready for the rigors of summer camp. Probably see them at Live for Life, but of the guys that are up there from the 2018 freshman class, who kind of strikes you a little bit as somebody to watch?
Yeah, you know, Dotson obviously is a guy that we'll see if there's anything he can do to maybe work his way into that yellow group. I think he had the two offensive linemen, Rasheed Walker and Rasheed Walker and Juice Scruggs. Probably not guys that contribute. Both look really good. If you look at the photo that Penn State tweeted out of all 7 of the new guys, I mean, they look really good together. And I think that Penn State has 2 offensive linemen of the future that can probably start for 3 years, if not 4. This year's not that year. So those guys will be obviously working towards something greater down the road. But the one obviously is the one we just talked about, Ricky Slade. And he looks like a guy and should be a guy that can go in and play right away. However, Bob, as we know, sometimes same thing was thought about Miles Sanders. And then as it turned out, it would have probably been better to save him. So we'll see. But he certainly has all the tools to be an impact guy from day one.
Yeah, and it's striking to see that he's just not a very big kid. He's an elusive player, an explosive player. Obviously, his highlight tape at Virginia speaks for itself. The fact that he was a coveted recruit, but you just wonder physically. It'll be interesting. Don't you think it'll be interesting to see how they'll devise a role for him if they give him the green light to play him? He doesn't seem, Greg, like a guy that you want to give the ball to 5 or 6 times on 3rd and 1 when there's 3 linebackers and 4 big linemen in front of him. What do you think his role might be at Penn State?
Yeah, he strikes me as someone that could slide into that Tommy Stevens kind of hybrid role where you might line him up in the backfield and let him catch out of the backfield. You might line him up in the slot or somewhere other than the backfield and let him do work that way. I think he'll get carries. There's no doubt about it. Is he going to get 10 carries a game? I think probably not. Could he get 10 touches a game? I think that's possible. I mean, I think we've seen Ricky Ronnie in at least the Fiesta Bowl is pretty creative when it comes to getting guys on the field. So 10 touches later in the year, yeah, I think it's possible. Early on, he's going to have to break in like any true freshman would. But he has a rare combination of speed and physical traits. He might not be the biggest guy, but he has a lot else going for him.
Yeah, and I think you made a great point earlier on the Penn State Blitz that he is a player that Penn State can be extra careful with due to the new rule. After 3 games, if it looks like maybe he needs to get a little bit bigger or faster, or he gets nicked, that does not count. Even if they play him late in the year, middle of the year, to not have to use a year of eligibility when Miles Sanders is there and they have some running backs behind him. I think he would be he's a guy that could really benefit, I think, from this new freshman role.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Bob.
Okay, 4th down here on the Blitz. We talked offensive guys who are now on campus in the 2018 recruiting class. There are now some more defensive guys. I believe we already talked about Charlie Catcher from Cumberland Valley. Looks a little bit bigger. Still probably trying to figure out what his best position is. But of the latest defensive guys now that are on campus for the Penn State football team, getting ready for August and possibly getting ready to play in the fall, who are some guys now that kind of have caught your eye?
Yeah, you look at these 3 that are on campus. You have Jordan Minor, the defensive back from Florida. You have Aeneas Hawkins, the defensive lineman from Cincinnati, who missed all of his senior year due to injury. Now he's just getting back into football shape. Hard to see him contributing just because of that. And then you have Catcher, who I think most assume is going to need a year to get ready to go, Bob. So of this group that just got on campus over the weekend, not sure if you see any of them contribute right away. But Minor's an interesting case because I thought he looked a little bit bigger than what you're led to believe from his photos and his videos at the Blue-White game when they honored all the kids on the field. So I thought that, if there's one guy that maybe could work his way into a special teams role or something more, it could be him, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.